Kinseh versus Mectos. Kinseh on a 12-game winning streak. 4 series winning streak. Every single one of them 3-0. And that's all the games he's ever played on my stream. He's never lost. Mectos going to be the one to give him his first loss. Maybe. He's not been playing a whole lot of 1v1s recently. But as we all know, he is still a very, very talented individual. Did somebody say something in party chat to wait? I don't know why they're waiting. They can go. This is a first. Usually people just hop into the game. Alright, There's a new map? Oh! I should put the new map on. Of course. Yeah, I'll put the new map on after this. That's a fantastic idea. Oh, that's almost a brilliant shot early on, as I've just realized I've turned off the the scoreboard, the nameplates. So far, so good for Mectos. I was going to say at the start of this game, he hasn't been playing a lot of ones, but as everybody will know, he's never really had to in order to stay threatening at the top of the ones game. He's just one of those players who's got that pop-off potential. He can just come into a game against pretty much anybody and beat them. So when you're thinking of someone who can hand Kinseh his first loss in his, live stream show match career, Mectos has got to be pretty close to the top of your list for North American players. That pop-off potential is huge. We're just getting a game win against just about anyone. Mectos does have experience in long series as well. Good shooting early on, but Kinseh will get the first save into a good spot here. Jorius versus Khaled show match when Jorius gets a new controller. Yeah, I would love to see that one. That would be great. Khaled versus King Spectre. I mean, that would be better. RNG champion is pretty prestigious as a title. Thanks for 500 bits, by the way, mate. And Golden, thanks for the 3 quid. What up to you as well? Well, what's going up right now is Mectos scores. He's gone 2 in the lead here. Kinseh in a bit of trouble. And you wondered, would Mectos really have a chance of doing this? Well, he started off strong. Yeah, I forgot to turn on nameplates, and I thought I turned everything back on, but I knew something was missing. So there we go, our nameplates are back. They're back on. Thanks for reminding me of the wizard, just in case I hadn't done that by myself. Johnny. Lipstick, thanks for the 6-month prime. Appreciate you, man. End of message. That wasn't too long, was it? So the key to Kinseh, I mean, thinking beyond keeping the game win streak alive. I'm sure he's happy to keep the game win streak alive, but he's more interested in keeping the series win streak alive. And at the end of the day, you're gonna lose a ones game to somebody at some point. It doesn't matter how good you are. You could literally be O'Callaghan and you're probably gonna lose a ones game at some point. But a series, if you're the better player, you're not gonna lose a series at random. It's quite hard to play worse than your opponent in ones and lose and win a series. It happens. You can definitely play worse than somebody in a game and get the win. But Kinseh, for this whole series, if he's familiar with players who have had success against Mectos in the past, he will be trying to play the boost game, boost starvation game more particularly, because that's what's really worked against Mectos previously. I've seen lots of players do it, and this is actually how it all starts. Just get one shot that forces Mectos back into his goal, take the boost, and now Mectos is completely stuck. He can't accelerate because all these shots are coming flying at his goal, and Kinseh is just eventually going to wear him down. That's brilliant. I mean, we've just talked about it. It's all about that boost starvation. So after he gets that going, he can really make something happen. I love as well at Kinseh, at no point during that attack, or no point during any of those shots did he go too far. Did he get frustrated at Mectos saving multiple shots? Because that can happen, even at the highest level. If somebody's getting several saves in a row, it's quite easy for the attacking player to just throw himself at something that he probably shouldn't go for, and then get taken out of the game.
GG's boy, yes.
Wow. It's a pretty good shot there, though. Kinseh top corner. And Mectos has lost his lead. In fact, he's behind. It's 4-3 now. Kinseh's kickoff is doing some damage. But what's probably even more impressive is the shooting. Oh dear, though. That's a trip, and that's another equalizer. This time Mectos is the one who gets it. Decent shot there from Mectos, a testing one for sure. Kinseh just accidentally tripping on the near post. It was never going to be possible to save the shot after he did that. Still though, kickoff's doing work for him. I think that one's in as well, 5-4. Just over half-time, Kinseh still looking good for the win streak. I do wonder, did he come into this game with a special plan to beat Mectos? Or is he just playing his usual style? It looks quite solid and looks pretty standard to me so far. But, like I said earlier, and like I'm going to keep saying, because I do think it is the main thing to watch for this series, is Kinseh going to go for the boost starving? Is he going to try and frustrate Mectos? Is he going to try and slow him down? Because Mectos, when he's playing supersonic, when he's going up as fast as he can for aerial plays, off the ceiling, off the floor, off the wall, doesn't matter. When he gets to play a speedy game, I think that's when he looks his best, and he doesn't suit the slow play as much. Of course, slow playing goes hand in hand with boost starvation at times. Let's see what Kinseh can do here. Early shot into the open net, and he's ahead by 1. Very nice demo there by Kinseh. It's a bit careless though by Mectos. He should know that that's a dangerous position to be in, especially if you're side on to your opponent. It's so much easier to demo someone who's side on. That hitbox that you're aiming for significantly larger. Is that Kinseh looking for a forced own goal, or did he just hit the ball at Mectos to see what would happen? Mectos is going to punish him for that giveaway of possession by deleting him from the map momentarily. 6-6, it's a close one. And there haven't been too many close Kinseh games, single games at least. The majority he has ran away with, or at least controlled, for enough time to make us believe that he's always had the win in the bag when the final whistle goes. Just a minute and 13 here. Kinseh again trying to get out in front, but he's kind of messed up that dribble. I think that should have been and could have been a 1-goal lead, but he's missed the boost. And Mectos walks in a 1-goal lead at the other end. Absolute disaster for Kinseh. You can see the frustration. He just stops in the corner, because it was kind of greedy to go for that boost in the first place. I don't think it was a good idea, even if he did get it, because you never know. Mectos might just blast a flick onto your net before you can catch up to the ball. Like I said before though, Kinseh's kickoff's doing work. He's tied us up again. This will frustrate Mectos. He'll know more than anyone just how badly his kickoff is doing right now. He's had moments where he's been caught out of position by Kinseh, who's had a more watchful eye for the majority of the game. Air dribbles, obviously a big part of the one's meta still going into 2020. I wonder if Kinseh's going to bring those back later in the game. Right now it's just going to be a bounce dribble, but an unbelievable save from Mectos has kept Kinseh out, but he's rebounded it in. Off a down bounce, point blank range shot, goes into the bar, but Kinseh read it better, he read it quicker, and with 24 seconds left, the win streak is looking good. This is for his 13th game win in a row. Mectos will feel like he should have won this, he'll feel like he could have won this, and it's going to be hard for him to ignore the kickoffs going in Kinseh's favor. It's going to be really hard for him to just keep a positive mental attitude going into the next game. Because as we all know, when you're losing a lot of kickoffs, it's quite easy to ignore all your other problems, ignore all your other mistakes, and just focus only on that. I wonder, will Mectos be able to correct the other problems that he's been having, the other mistakes that have been creeping into his play. Hey, SK Dog, thanks for a $50 prize pool, mate.
This interesting.
I'll go ahead and put that on the screen. Nice, easy one for me to add up, because you told me how much it was. Love it. 13 game wins in a row for Kinseh. It looked awkward. Map. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm going to tell these guys. Actually, Go menu. But I'll say go menu before the game starts because it's not started yet, obviously. Right, yeah, new map. What's the order? Where do the new maps appear? Somewhere around here. There it is. Forbidden Temple. New map. I do like the look of Forbidden Temple. Type a 1 in chat if you like the look of this map. It is a very chill environment. I love the color scheme. Love the sky. You know, actually, this sky reminds me of Scottish skies in summer. Because we're quite high up there on the hemisphere, so pretty much every night, if you go outside, you'll see a sunset like this. Just the red and the purples. Very, very nice to look at. Let's see if Kinseh will be able to continue what he started here. He's got Mectos exactly where he wants him already. Mectos, a nice bump on the back wall though. It's giving Kinseh something to think about. Nice little pre-flip as well, landing on the ball. Oh, Kinseh didn't waste much time collecting that one. He's already into the net. And Mectos really must have expected a little bit longer to get back into position here. There was no time at all. That's some brilliant dribbling up the wall there from Kinseh. Every touch in that play had to be perfect to get the goal in that quickly. And he did hit every single touch perfectly. Mectos bumps him out of the way, misses the open net from the tight angle. Now, is he going to get desperate here? He has been frustrated and he's been kept back in defense for large parts of the latter half of the last game and all of this game as well. It's a really great bump there by Kinseh. Mectos thinking about a ceiling shot of his own. He shot it early because he saw Kinseh on the back wall. There's of course the threat of a ceiling challenge there for Kinseh. Well, I think Mectos is starting to get frustrated and Kinseh's read him. He's managed to see this game plan change before it even happened. We've had a couple of plays now where Mectos has decided to just go all in. Kinseh was ready for it both times. It wasn't even close to being a successful challenge. And with more and more saves coming in, Mectos surely is going to get more and more frustrated. Mechanics on point for Kinseh. You wondered, would he be able to keep up with a Mectos who's firing in all cylinders? Well, the answer so far is a resounding yes. Kinseh has, I think, matched Mectos for mechanics, and he's got one better for strategy. Mectos trying to go to the next level though. And you know, he almost put in a cracker of a flip reset in game 1. He's done it in game 2, barred down and into the back of the net. 1 goal game. Mectos had to wait a while before getting that one. But you'll think it was worth the wait, and that's going to make it 2-2. Kinseh again going for that same back corner boost and getting punished for it. It's that back left, or back right, sorry, corner boost of Mectos. Kinseh keeps getting baited in by it. He just loves to go for that one, apparently. Pre-flip. Not going to be enough for Kinseh. Mectos ahead by a goal now. And yes, this is a kickoff goal, but it's a kickoff goal that follows a goal that Kinseh really should not have been conceding. He just gave one away by greeting for the boost. Mectos thinking about going for a 4th goal here. This is extravagant. This is certainly somewhat risky. But with Kinseh being in such low boost as well, Mectos will feel quite confident here. Just peppering the goal with shots. And he's going to score one in reverse as well. Well done to Mectos. This looks a lot more risky than it actually is, because the worst case scenario there for Mectos is a 50-50 where both players have no boost. The best case scenario is he's scoring, so it's actually not that bad. I think he's scoring enough of the time there that wasn't a bad play at all. However, that might be one. He gives the ball away to Kinseh, who has missed a completely open net. Mectos was between him and the goal, but there was enough space behind him that he should have been scoring it. And my goodness, Kinseh's taking risks with the corner boost. This one's going to pay off. And he's not got the goal at the other end just yet. 2-goal deficit. Mectos Has got to hold on to that for half a game to be the one to take a game off Kinseh. Love this dribbling angle for Kinseh. This is opening up so many options for him. And look at that final touch. Just lifting it over the top of Mectos' challenge. He fakes a big hook shot here to keep Mectos back and then baits him in with the first touch. Mectos just really having a hard time there, figuring out exactly what Kinseh had planned. By the way, thank you to Shady Tic Tac for the Prime sub. That's a brilliant name. Appreciate you swinging by with the Prime, dude. Also, X Big Burrito with a Prime. This goal is for you. Mectos just can't stop scoring bangers in this game. It's a cracking shot. Leaning back into it, I think the best way to backflip into a flick is probably to be air rolling backwards to begin with. No loss of momentum, no change in direction, just acceleration applied to the ball. The 2-goal gap opens up again. Did I catch up with all the subs? I don't know if I did. Enough hurt thanks to the 2-month prime. Single bladed thanks to the 30-month prime. That is a long time, man. Appreciate you. As well, Dark Centaurus with the 7-month prime. Welcome back to you. Check out the team play from Mectos and Kinseh. A Kinseh who has definitely overextended there. And Mectos does not get punished for initially missing what was essentially an open net. There's a little bit of Kinseh to avoid, but I would say that was still an open net overall. Luckily for Mectos, Kinseh put it in for him. I don't know if the second shot there, which Kinseh redirected, was actually going in. Well, we all know the first one from Mectos wasn't, because it hit the post. Kinseh in a bit of trouble here. In fact, in a lot of trouble. This should be another goal for Mectos. He's decided to slow play it. Kinseh gets goal side. What's he got planned to try and preserve the streak? Has he got any secrets up his sleeve? Just going to be a good old-fashioned flick to get us started here, but not a successful one. In fact, it's the worst kind. A counter-attack from Mectos makes it 7-3. Oh, it's the Jesse beam. Excellent choice there, Mechanics. That's a brilliant use of beam. I love that Jesse meme. That might be my favorite Jesse meme. Streak over. Maybe. What just happened? Wait a second. Is the streak scripted? Or what is Mectos doing? Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I think he was trying to play possession in the back corner. I believe, looking at that again, Mectos was trying to just, bring the ball back into his corner, and then he hit it a bit closer to his goal than he meant to. But he thought, it's fine, I'm just going to pinch it off the post, get rid of the danger. Whoops, I've owned goal. So really, everything going wrong there for Mectos, and Kinseh's got a chance to punish him, and he's going to start strong. A bar down flick will send a shiver down Mectos' spine. If he does end up losing this lead, I don't know where he's supposed to go from that, because it all came from a cracking own goal. An own goal ceiling shot, which didn't have any interference from Kinseh. It was just all Mectos from the kickoff until the goal. He just own goal. This is great time wasting though. Kinseh's only got 15 seconds to find a couple of goals, and the first one that he tries is not going to work. Still absolutely Mectos' game to lose, and I think with that clear ball he has won it. Kinseh can no longer score 2 goals in the remaining time. Can't even put one in his own net as a consolation prize, and thus ends the game-winning streak. Mectos has done it. He's the first player out of 4 who've tried, out of 14 games as well, to beat Kinseh in a 1v1 game on stream. No 3-0 today. Now the real question becomes, can Mectos beat him in a series? Something else that no one else who's played him has been able to do. As wins over Sharp, J-Bot, Com, and Sharif. All names that we're very familiar with on stream these days. Oh, did I forget to tell them? I should probably do that after this game. Although players these days, they just assume that there might be one. Like, there's never really been any try-hard problems. You know, nobody's like thrown a game and then thought, wait a minute, I didn't know there's money on the line. These guys are way too sweaty for that, so I'm sure they're fine. 1-0. Mectos again. Kinseh will feel hard done by on that play, getting bumped out of position. These bounce dribbles are quite scary though. Interesting to see him mixing these into his play. Did we really catch a piece of Mectos there? Kinseh's gonna get a piece of the game. Let's take a look at Mectos' POV. Did he get tagged? No, he just tried to stay a bit too far in front of the ball, it would seem. Expected Kinseh to make more contact, but Kinseh, of course, as we can see, didn't have the boost to make more contact. Hey, the lone break, thanks to the 22 month tier 1. That is indeed a long time. I really appreciate it. Welcome back to you. Yeah, SK Dog as well was the 300 bits. I'm going to try and remind them about the prize pool. Yeah, like I said before, they probably are already trying their hardest anyway.
I don't even know who you are.
Into game 3, Kinseh. A brilliant first touch out of the air. Doesn't do too much with the follow-up though. In fact, he's got completely shut down by Mectos. He's going to get another goal here. No, he's not, because Kinseh somehow saved it. You know, careless he may be, risks he may be taking, but the mechanics are making up for it. I thought it was another Kinseh greed for a boost, ending up with the goal in the back of his net, but not this time. In comes the ceiling challenge, one which Mectos did consider. He was partially afraid of it. Already backing off. The game is certainly a lot more action-packed than the scoreline would suggest, and it is a boost grab that causes Kinseh to fumble yet again. Mectos was right behind him, and he did not respect it. He should have seen him, he should have heard him, he should have checked to make sure that the coast was clear. Should have faked pressure on the ball, but no, he just goes straight for the boost in plain sight and gets scored on. Definitely mistakes creeping in for Kinseh in his biggest test yet. But the sideways dribbles, they have looked deadly today. I'm actually surprised he hasn't scored more with these, because it seems like he's got pretty much every play in the book there. He can just continue dribbling in the ground. He's certainly comfortable getting a ball on top of his head and flicking it. And air dribbles are something we see from him out of these dribbles every now and then. One flick goes to the left of Mectos, and that is now Kinseh back in front. Really close between these two since the start. Hey, King Spectre, see you later, man. Have a good one. We should do a viewer tourney. Yeah, we'll do on another day. Not going to do anything else after this. I have to go to bed. It's only 11 minutes past 9 PM, but I've been up since 4 in the morning. It's a brilliant flick by Kinseh. In fact, it's going to be impossible to read as Mectos here. He just doesn't have a clue where exactly that ball is going before he can react. It's at the top shelf of his goal. That's absolutely perfectly struck. Two heavyweights at the moment offensively, trading blows. But it's 4-2 to the man with the big win streak. Mectos coming off what I would say is a pretty disappointing showing in the NA Salt Mine. Couple of notable wins in that tournament, but overall not one that he'll be too happy with. This is his rebound, his attempt to bounce back, get a big win against right now one of the top 1v1 players, both in NA and in the ranked ladder. Do I work out at the gym? Well, there is actually a gym in Glasgow, the city I'm from, that's called the gym, and I don't work out there. No, I've just been using Pure Gym. Pretty trash. Unless, of course, they want to sponsor me, then it's amazing. Please click the link in the description. There actually isn't a link in the description, I'm just kidding. Why would any gym company sponsor a gamer? That would be a waste of time. We don't go outside. We're gonna go to the gym. Truth be told, though, I think that Rocket League pros go to the gym quite a lot, don't they? Because there's not as much of a demand to just grind the game like 16 hours a day like you have to in other games. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, that is the most blatant I should have scored, so I'm going to try and score this impossible angle shot that I have ever seen. Mectos, wide open net miss. Absolutely wide open net. And then afterwards he goes up for a rebound, which is, I would say, an impossible angle. We've all been there, you know, you've missed an open net and then you just try and force the issue, but Mectos, he can't afford to do that. He's still got a chance to win this one without taking those kind of risks. Only down by 2. He's got to think that he's going to get 2 good chances to score before the end of this game. Well, there's one, there's another one, and Kinseh has just flopped helplessly past it. The pre-jump not doing him any favours. And Mectos has decided to drop an all caps LOL in the chat. I mean, from his perspective, it was pretty comical. I'm surprised he didn't force Kinseh to watch that one on the replay as well. Maybe he knew I would. Absolute scorcher of a shot there from Mectos. Blazed past Kinseh. It was unable to react in time. I think honestly he reacted too fast. He expected more. He thought the shot would be going a bit higher and a bit less to his right hand side. But Kinseh still in the driver's seat here. 30 seconds left. 2-goal difference. Mectos wins a kickoff though, and Kinseh did not have time to grab a 100 pad. He's kind of shown his hand early as well. Quick move up the back of the goal alerted Mectos to Kinseh's planning. Kinseh landed really badly here. If he wants to fake that in and out save and then jump out of it, he's got to face the ball. He can't be diagonal onto the play like that. He needs to land completely square so he can get moving immediately, make himself as big as possible. But it's happened now. Kinseh just needs to hold on for another 7 seconds and he'll get the win here. That should be the final nail in the coffin for game 3. Kinseh ahead by 2 goals. It is still possible, but incredibly and highly improbable. Mectos doesn't get the job done. He's looking competitive. In fact, looking the most competitive out of all of Kinseh's opponents so far. But the series is going in a similar direction to every other Kinseh series. How old is Kinseh? I don't actually know how old Kinseh is. Brecco, thanks for the 25-month prime. Really appreciate it, man. And My Slug Likes Salt, thanks for the tier 1. Great name. Don't be putting salt on slugs, snails. We need the salt, the slugs and the snails. They're part of a very important ecosystem. Do you get gigantic snails and gigantic slugs in Australia? Because obviously you get huge spiders and huge scorpions and huge everything else. I don't know why I've just thought of this, but I have, and I'm curious. Do you get massive slugs? I know you get huge slugs in the sea, but I'm talking just land slugs. Do they exist, like big ones, you know, Australia size? Is that a thing? I've never heard of them before. Wouldn't surprise me though. Certainly wouldn't surprise me. Alright, this is crunch time now for Mectos. Already a gift from Kinseh, who's tried an elaborate aerial shot and missed. But oh my days, Mectos, you cannot be missing these open nets. And again, after missing one, he decides to lunge up and try and shoot an impossible angle. You're seeing a pattern here. But I really do think that the main thing to blame is the fact that Mectos is coming in a bit rusty. Hasn't been putting the time into ones, and I can explain to you why, like, playing primarily 3v3 can do that to you. Now see the shot that Mectos just missed. If it's a bit higher, it doesn't bounce up the way, it just bounces straight back. That's perfectly fine in 3v3. Like, missing the goal by a meter or two in 3v3, not a problem. You probably got a teammate who's coming in behind you, to take the shot for you. It's more about the speed. Like, getting beaten to the ball in 3v3 is really bad. But yeah, missing the target by a little bit and giving somebody else a goal, not too bad. I think that's why Mectos right now, he's done that. He's just been playing too much threes. We saw a similar thing with Fairy Peak against Khaled in their 1v1 in the pentathlon. Kinseh has been putting time into ones though. I think that's why he's looking more clinical. That's why he's looking deadly next to the goal. You'd have to be impressed with that level of play being executed at the pace that he's playing at. Mectos didn't get the best first touch there, but he still had 2 more planned as he came off the ceiling. A little double touch off the floor. Mectos on target again, but it's saved by Kinseh again. And this time making a double save. Who's been more conservative with their boost? Mectos thinks it's him. Another quiet game according to the scorecard, but there's been a lot going on, and that might be another bit of drama. Kinseh almost copying Mectos, putting his shot off the post. What is it with these guys and hitting the post? I mean, he did put it off the post. It just bounced in off his own car afterwards again. Really, really high pressure being applied to both players if they're missing this much. Mectos not going to miss from here. 2-2. And he is far from done with this one. Actually, both players watching this replay. That's interesting. This going to be on YouTube? Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it's a pretty interesting series. If I ever stream something and I feel like it was a good series, I feel like it's worth watching, and I'll put it on YouTube. And so far, this one has definitely delivered. Great matchup. Very 2 evenly matched players mechanically, I would say. Different focuses and different specialities, but still, I would say similar in level. Mectos connects with another bump, and it's bounced in as well for the 1-goal lead. 2:15 of the clock. Can Mectos hold on? He was able to do it in game 2. This is the only other even numbered game. Will he be able to replicate? Kinseh just waiting for the opportunity to arrive. Not the worst shot there, just keeping Mectos back, and that leads into the boost steal that we talked about earlier. Unbelievable save by Mectos. He somehow pinched that off his own post after Kinseh put it on target. But again, Kinseh has an answer. This is such high level play between these two at times. The reaction timing of Kinseh is on point here. Also just the knowledge of what to do in these awkward positions. These low pops, they're always so risky, but he's spotting moments to do them in. Us talking about risky, that was a risky clear. Mectos dunked all over it, but no goal. Still 3-3 in game 4. No boost steal for Kinseh. He's still on the hunt for those whenever he can get them. He might not need it here. That's a pretty sick mind game. Kinseh has Mectos flopping all over the place. Almost put it in reverse and then pretends to go for the ball. And Mectos, assuming that he would, has just lunged into nobody. Takes himself completely out of the game. He might be taking himself out of the series shortly if he can't do something about it. 1 minute and 7 seconds left. It's not been the 3-0 a lot of people would have hoped for. It's also not just been the scoreline that a lot of people would have hoped for, because I know Mectos is a pretty popular player, and it's just all gone wrong for him today. It's all gone completely upside down at times. Well, good kick off for Kinseh. This is now his game to lose. No question about that. He doesn't need to take risks. He just needs to wait for that clock to 0. He just needs to keep Mectos away from the ball. But Mectos does get his hands back on it. To the air we go. Still needs 2 goals, and he's going to go back to the trusted air double bump. Hasn't worked out, but the follow-up shot will, and it's the shot that he missed. I think it was in game 2, where he had a very tight angle shot like that, and he hit the post. Well, he made sure to put that one in. He's given himself a fighting chance here. Inside the final 30 seconds, Mectos quick to react. So is Kinseh. Now we are final 20 here. What can Mectos do? Might just do it. Oh my goodness, it's gone in! Well, just when you're wondering where's the goal going to come from, there it is. Just barely missing the post. Just sneaking in to the open net off a 50-50 on the offensive corner. That is incredibly lucky for Mectos, but that's not. There's more drama. Well, if you thought one goal was lucky for Mectos, we're completely level now. There you go. Bit of fortune on Kinseh's side as well. 6-5 with 6 seconds left. Mectos needs a goal to keep the series going. Kinseh's not going to give it to him easily, but it might not matter. He might have to give it to him. Mectos on 0 seconds. He was so close. Oh, he tried, but it just wasn't meant to be. He didn't have the boost to accelerate the ball. Wow, there's so many twists at the end of this one, but when all is said and done, Kinseh has another series win to his name, and it's an impressive one as well. This was an awkward series. Lots of mistakes on open nets from both players, actually. But overall, there's no denying Kinseh was the more consistent of the 2 players, and he was, I think, the player who wasn't throwing himself in as much when it was too risky. Still great to see. Always love watching those 2 play. Did I forget to put this on the screen? Oh, I'm such an idiot. I typed it in. It says $50 and I forgot to enable it. But yeah, I'll make sure that Kinseh gets that. Don't be putting salt on slugs, snails. We need the salt, the slugs and the snails. They're part of a very important ecosystem. Do you get gigantic snails and gigantic slugs in Australia? Because obviously you get huge spiders and huge scorpions and huge everything else. I don't know why I've just thought of this, but I have, and I'm curious. Do you get massive slugs? I know you get huge slugs in the sea, but I'm talking just land slugs. Do they exist, like big ones, you know, Australia size? Is that a thing? I've never heard of them before. Wouldn't surprise me though. Certainly wouldn't surprise me. Alright, this is crunch time now for Mectos. Already a gift from Kinseh, who's tried an elaborate aerial shot and missed. But oh my days, Mectos, you cannot be missing these open nets. And again, after missing one, he decides to lunge up and try and shoot an impossible angle. You're seeing a pattern here, but I really do think that the main thing to blame is the fact that Mectos is coming in a bit rusty, hasn't been putting the time into ones, and I can explain to you why, like, playing primarily 3v3 can do that to you. Now see the shot that Mectos just missed. If it's a bit higher, it doesn't bounce up the way, it just bounces straight back. That's perfectly fine in 3v3. Like, missing the goal by a meter or two in 3v3, not a problem. You probably got a teammate who's coming in behind you to take the shot for you. It's more about the speed. Like, getting beat into the ball in 3v3 is really bad. But yeah, missing the target by a little bit and giving somebody else a goal, not too bad. I think that's why Mectos right now, he's done that. He's just been playing too much threes. We saw a similar thing with Fairy Peak against Khaled in their 1v1 in the pentathlon. Kinseh has been putting time into ones though. I think that's why he's looking more clinical. That's why he's looking deadly next to the goal. You'd have to be impressed with that level of play being executed at the pace that he's playing at. Mectos didn't get the best first touch there, but he still had two more planned as he came off the ceiling. Little double touch off the floor. Mectos on target again, but it's saved by Kinseh again. And this time making a double save. Who's been more conservative with their boost? Mectos thinks it's him. Another quiet game according to the scorecard, but there's been a lot going on, and that might be another bit of drama. Kinseh almost copying Mectos, putting his shot off the post. What is it with these guys and hitting the post? I mean, he did put it off the post. It just bounced in off his own car afterwards again. Really, really high pressure being applied to both players if they're missing this much. Mectos not going to miss from here. 2-2. He is far from done with this one. Actually, both players watching this replay. That's interesting. This going to be on YouTube? Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it's a pretty interesting series. If I ever stream something and I feel like it was a good series, I feel like it's worth watching, then I'll put it on YouTube. And so far, this one has definitely delivered. Great matchup. Very two evenly matched players mechanically, I would say. Different focuses and different specialities, but still, I would say similar in level. Mectos connects with another bump, and it's bounced in as well for the 1-goal lead. 2:15 of the clock. Can Mectos hold on? He was able to do it in game 2. This is the only other even numbered game. Will he be able to replicate? Kinseh just waiting for the opportunity to arrive. Not the worst shot there, just keeping Mectos back, and that leads into the boost steal that we talked about earlier. Unbelievable save by Mectos. He somehow pinched that off his own post after Kinseh put it on target. But again, Kinseh has an answer. This is such high-level play between these two at times. The reaction timing of Kinseh is on point here. Also just the knowledge of what to do in these awkward positions. These low pops, they're always so risky, but he's spotting moments to do them in. Talking about risky, that was a risky clear. Mectos dunked all over it, but no goal. Still 3-3 in game 4. No boost steal for Kinseh. He's still on the hunt for those whenever he can get them. He might not need it here. That's a pretty sick mind game. Kinseh has Mectos flopping all over the place. Almost put it in reverse and then pretends to go for the ball. And Mectos, assuming that he would, has just lunged into nobody. Takes himself completely out of the game. He might be taking himself out of the series shortly if he can't do something about it. 1 minute and 7 seconds left. It's not been the 3-0 a lot of people would have hoped for. It's also not just been the scoreline that a lot of people would have hoped for, because I know Mectos is a pretty popular player, and it's just all gone wrong for him today. It's all gone completely upside down at times. Well, good kick off for Kinseh. This is now his game to lose. No question about that. He just needs to take risks. He just needs to wait for that clock to 0. He just needs to keep Mectos away from the ball. But Mectos does get his hands back on it. Into the air we go. Still needs 2 goals, and he's going to go back to the trusted irritable bump. Hasn't worked out, but the follow-up shot will, and it's the shot that he missed. I think it was in game 2, where he had a very tight angle shot like that, and he hit the post. Well, he made sure to put that one in. He's given himself a fighting chance here inside the final 30 seconds. Mectos quick to react. So is Kinseh. Now we are final 20 here. What can Mectos do? That might just do it. Oh my goodness, it's gone in! Well, just when you're wondering where's the goal going to come from, There it is. Just barely missing the post. Just sneaking in to the open net. Off a 50-50 on the offensive corner. That is incredibly lucky for Mectos. But that's not. There's more drama. Well, if you thought one goal was lucky for Mectos, we're completely level now. There you go. Bit of fortune on Kinseh's side as well. 6-5 with 6 seconds left. Mectos needs a goal to keep the series going. Kinseh's not going to give it to him easily, but it might not matter. He might have to give it to him. Mectos on 0 seconds. He was so close. Oh, he tried, but it just wasn't meant to be. He didn't have the boost to accelerate the ball. Wow, there's so many twists at the end of this one, but when all is said and done, Kinseh has another series win to his name, and it's an impressive one as well. This was an awkward series. Lots of mistakes on open nets from both players, actually. But overall, there's no denying Kinseh was the more consistent of the two players, and he was, I think, the player who wasn't throwing himself in as much